world? It's your boy Kilos Media. We're here talking about, is it worth starting a Lowrider YouTube channel in the new year? A lot of people are at shows with cameras. I hear from Cali Boy and all those guys on the West Coast a lot. They're tired of seeing people with cameras at shows because you can't even see the cars at that point. You just see people with cameras. And that's whether it's, cruise-ins and picnics and all those good events. I'm in a little bit of a different situation because I'm based out of Ohio. So, I travel Chicago, New York, the general Midwest, East Coast vibe. If it's like 6 hours, I'm down to travel pretty much to a Lowrider event. We're going to get into talking about, is it worth starting your channel on YouTube? Is it worth doing Instagram? What are some of these things how does it pay out? And we're going to get into it with the YouTube first. I work a lot with Pinches Lowriders. Lobo is a good friend of mine. I have access to the channel, so we're going to kind of use that as a base point because we're going to use a third-party website to kind of gauge some of the monetization aspects of it. So we're going to get into this. He has a YouTube channel with roughly 130,000 subscribers. He has a bunch of videos uploaded. He has uploaded 480 videos to be exact. His monthly monetization for December is $290, and we're going to go to the other website, Social Blade, and kind of compare that. They're estimating between 23 and 373. So we'll take that medium and on the medium to higher side and kind of gauge that as, kind of where things are. For having 130 subscribers, he has to travel a lot. He's on flights. He's, covering, I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen Pinches Lowriders. He's based out of NorCal, but he'll be in LA and hitting all these other shows. One of the bigger Lowrider content creators out there. This video is really to gauge, is it really worth you having a camera show, or should you just be living in the moment and let, content creators actually realize what it is? Sometimes you go to shows and it's hard to walk around because everybody has their cameras out and stuff, and I'm just trying to have people live in the moment because, in all honesty, a lot of people are taking pictures or videos that aren't really getting out there. The next one we're going to jump into is the Lowrider magazine. Lowrider magazine has 176 uploads. He has roughly 45,000 subscribers. They make roughly, on an estimate, between $10 and $162 a month, which gives them a grand total of, on the high side, $2,000 a year. Is it worth them to upload videos on YouTube? They created their YouTube in 2007, so they were early adopters. Just consistency was never there. Just Lowriders is a good one that has 50,000 subscribers, 476 videos uploaded. They make between $11 and $177 a month, grand estimate of $2,000 a year. Skid Society, popular one, started off actually making other types of content like takeovers and stuff, and then he jumped into like the Lowrider thing. I've seen when he was at, I think, Long Beach, somebody threatened him to try to beat him up because he caught another fight on camera. He's out there grinding, making $75 to $1,000 a month off of YouTube with a grand total on the high side of $14,000 a year. That's without taxes, dog. Like, people got to realize, they might think $14,000, y'all can go buy this car or whatever. That's pre-tax. He's getting taxed on that, so... is it worth it for him to be out there? I'm sure he enjoys it. Another one is We Gonna Ride TV. He makes between $6 and $90 a month, and that is with 33,000 subscribers, 173 videos uploaded. We're gonna talk about Lowriders and Lifestyle. They are based out of, I think it's more like the Mexico area, New Mexico. They make roughly $40 to $635 a month with annual earnings of roughly $500 through $7,000. If you think back to what Pinches Lowriders was making, he has a higher subscriber count, but these guys do a little bit more lifestyle stuff, so it's not just Lowrider content. And their monetization is a little bit higher. What do you take from that? You guys should not be making only Lowrider shows and show actual lifestyle things, like show things in the audio, show things that how you guys live, I think when you get that actual character and development within your videos, you guys could get a little bit more monetization because people actually understand and follow the person themselves versus just being a person behind the camera, which is why I'm here right here. Because I'm trying to give you guys the truth, the raw, and show you guys what it is. Because a lot of people see people at shows and they assume that they make tons of money off of YouTube. And in actuality, personally myself, I just got into the monetization program and I'm profiting maybe $10 right now. In all honesty, it's not that much. I mean, I know Pinches Lowriders, we talk a lot. Like I said, he's a good buddy of mine. People think that he's making all this money out there when in actuality, they'll fly him out for a show and they'll give him a hotel, but everything else is on himself. So, I mean, let's say if he's eating, let's say if he rents a car or anything like that, he's out of pocket on that. And the monetization that he's getting off of YouTube doesn't really even cover that. And you have to keep your equipment up to date. Who wants to see pixelated videos? So you kind of have to keep investing into yourself. But if you don't have that profit coming in to really invest into yourself, there's an issue. I like the homie right here. His name's Nacho from Love for the Streets. They have 76 videos uploaded, roughly 6,000 subscribers. Monthly, he's bringing in $14 to $222 with the annual estimate of $3,000. I like his content. I remember when he first came out, and I thought it was really good. And he's only gotten better, in all honesty, because you really get to see a different perspective and kind of get to understand the cars and the owners themselves. You see people at shows, and sometimes, especially, I mean, bro, I'm coming from Ohio, so if I'm out in LA, I don't really want to go up to somebody that I don't know. It's kind of awkward. Like, yo, I've been following you. I know people do it a lot, but I'm just not one of the people to do that. So another hot person that's out there, everybody knows, Mr. Cali Boy. Cali Boy's making roughly $75 to $1,000 a month with about 575 videos uploaded, 100,000 subscribers. Annually, that comes out to roughly $1,000 to $14,000 a year. He's been lacking a little bit on the content side because I think he realized the monetization really wasn't there. You can see in a lot of his videos, he used to use music and then he stopped using music. The reason that is because you don't get monetized if you use licensed music. Most of my videos at shows, I always use music, so I'm not monetized on any of that. If I'm talking or doing something like this, I'm monetized slightly, but that's the only way you're really getting monetized. So when people are at shows and they're talking and you just hear the talking, you're like, man, I wish they would add some music. It's because they're worried about the monetization and they're not really going to, they're not going to do anything about that. It's a YouTube thing, and it is what it is. Everybody knows King of Chevys, you know, Tweet, definitely killing it. But on the YouTube thing, he has 30 videos up. He has roughly about 9,000 subscribers. Monthly, he's bringing in $4 to $62, and annually, he's bringing in less than $1,000. Granted, this is a newer YouTube channel that popped up during COVID, so I mean, I think he has exponential growth. It's just a matter of figuring out how to monetize his channel a little bit more. I know he's selling the merch, so I mean, if you are a YouTube creator and you have the opportunity to do merch and things like that, maybe things are a little bit different. This is only based off of monetization. That means that's how YouTube is paying you based on ads that come up on your video. Diablo 666 is at every fucking cruise in LA County. You know, he's on the strip. You see him out there with the cell phone, and bro, he's making roughly $20 to $300 a month. $4,000 annually, 32,000 subscribers, 2,712 videos. On the video side, bro, you can see what everybody else is uploading. Look what he's uploading. He has a huge amount. On the flip side, we're going to talk about somebody who's actually making a little bit of money off YouTube. That's Tutu Steele. He makes videos about LA takeovers, but he also does lowrider. He also does lowrider content of it occasionally. He makes between $300 to $5,000 a month, with a grand total of between $3,000 and $60,000 a year. Not a little bad thing to take home. The biggest thing about this is, do you want to get into YouTube? Is it worth it? Because you have to actually invest into yourself. You're buying equipment that a lot of times you're using it for lowrider events. Can you actually monetize other ways and actually do other things with this equipment? Myself, I don't have an issue doing what's in my camera bag. I'll show you guys. This year alone, I spent roughly $15,000 in equipment, and I've made $10 off of YouTube. Is it really worth it? I mean, myself, I don't use my equipment for anything else other than YouTube, really. I love to document lowriders. I love Lowrider content. Other than that, I don't really make anything else off of my equipment. I wish I could find a way with my schedule, but right now I just use my equipment for lowrider events mostly. I mean, I have carbon fiber tripods, I have carbon fiber gimbals. I'll go over all my equipment if anybody's interested. But before you go and spend $15,000 on equipment that's going to only gross you $10 on YouTube, and you have to actually even pay tax on that $10, I'm trying to make sure everybody realizes that sometimes if you go to a show, you can leave your equipment at home. You don't have to be there. You can live in the moment. If you're going live and you're in the hot pit, bro, nobody wants to watch that. You're never going to go back and watch a video that was uploaded during a hot when you're out there in the middle of somewhere that doesn't even have good service. It's going to be super choppy. The audio is going to be trash. Just relax and let somebody who actually has equipment do that job for you, because that's why they're there. They're not getting paid to do it. They're there because they have the love and the passion, so they're going to put all their efforts into it. But, you know, that's just my opinion. There's a lot of other YouTubes out there. Personally, I'm a big fan of Lincoln Block or We in the Streets, but even him, he's not profiting, and I know he has some decent equipment. His content, I think, is superior to a lot of the other content creators out there, and I mean, is it worth it? Can we really live on YouTube? Is this something that is actually profitable long term? In all honesty, I think that we're going to see creators come and go. I think we're starting to see that. You could see a lot of early content creators that have come and they've left because, in all honesty, the monetization isn't there. People don't want to pay to have videographers, photographers at shows. They'll charge you shit. They'll charge you more than general admission to get into a show, even though you're promoting for them. I don't understand that logic, but that's a case for another day. But in all honesty, is it really worth it to charge everything up, spend all your time? I could spend time cleaning my 64 Impala to get to a show, or I could spend time charging all my equipment to get to that show. Which one am I going to choose? And that's really the gamble. I could try to document the show and then have more people come back in. I could pay a $60 admission for my car or $150 to come in with my camera and not take a car. This logic doesn't really make much sense to me, but that's the reality of what it is to be a content creator and 2023 in the lowrider community. They'll rather tax us because a lot of people see us with cameras and stuff and expensive gear, and they assume that we're profiting all this money. In all honesty, you could get into Social Blade and you could actually see the monetization isn't really there. And content creators, you're starting to see people dwindle that once we're in the limelight, and new people will come up, and then it's just a cycle that's going to continue to repeat itself until we actually do something about it. Everybody is down to pay a model to get to a show, but nobody's ever down to pay the photographer or videographer. And there's only so many shirts and stickers you could sell at a show that you'll never make your profit back, so it doesn't even make sense. In all honesty, this is Kilos Media checking out. Just want to show you guys the realities of actually starting a YouTube channel in 2023. Is it worth it for lowrider content, or would your time be better spent actually doing like a family channel and doing, in all honesty, doing a cooking channel and actually show lowriders occasionally? All the car community channels actually focus on the person, and then they do the automotive on the second hand. So I think that's what I'm going to try to start doing for this year, basing my template on other creators, because the monetization isn't there. So if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to share with you guys. We're going to take it live. Thanks, guys.